Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well and welcome to today's live session where I am going to discuss with you how you can manage your client expectation effectively as a mutual fund distributor. So I hope you guys are excited and those who are joining first time this session, let me welcome all of you. I am Shobit. I am a certified financial planner and founder of Finbis Growth Club. We are a community of new age mutual fund distributor who are looking to help their customer in meeting their financial goals through mutual fund medium. We are a community where we are going to change the way India invests, and I am so glad that we are buzzing with lot of activity. In case you are first time to the YouTube channel, I would love you to subscribe to the channel so that anytime we are doing our live sessions or whenever we are discussing or uploading any new video, you are the first one to get hold of it. So market has hit all-time high. Everybody is so euphoric regarding the market, especially the equity market has given tremendous returns in last few years to say so, especially in that pandemic where people were expecting that there would be huge correction, people will be losing their jobs and economy is not going to do well. But as people say, equity markets are more to do with the expectation than the ground reality. The kind of money which world over central banks are pumping in into the economy, the freebies which they are doling out, it is going to tell us as how we are going to be looking, as how the market is going to behave in terms of the freebies which are there in the market. So in case you agree with me, just type in the comment box. And I forgot to tell you what our mission is. We as a community, we are going to be helping 1 lakh insurance advisors to diversify their business into mutual funds. And in case you are looking to start your mutual fund distribution business, more importantly, if you want to be a successful mutual fund distributor, I would love you to join our community live. Just register for our 90 minutes free workshop where I'm going to tell you how you can start your mutual fund distribution business in 21 days or less. Now let's start on the topic, how to manage our client expectations. So when I'm talking about the expectation which you as a mutual fund distributor might be handling for your customer or investor, I want you to first understand, first you need to manage your own expectations. Now, I worked for more than a decade in mutual fund industry, and what I realized is the expectation of our mutual fund distributors from the vehicle itself is so high that sometimes it becomes very unrealistic. Now, what I mean by that? I mean by that is we all are chasing the best scheme in the market. Whenever I work with the companies like HDFC Mutual Fund, UTI Mutual Fund, I realize is whenever a new distributor or a old distributor comes for discussion with us, the first thing which we'll ask is which scheme is doing well. And by doing well, the definition is which scheme is giving the best return. Now, everywhere in mutual fund advertisement, you will notice and you will see that the investment is subject to market risk. It means whatever return the scheme has given in the past, it may or may not sustain in the future. But the thought process of most of the mutual fund distributor is which is the scheme, कौन सा स्कीम है साहब जो फ्यूचर में बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न देगा. आपको ये समझना है कि ना तो फंड मैनेजर, ना म्यूचुअल फंड के एम्प्लॉइज, ना भगवान बता सकते हैं कि फ्यूचर में कौन सा स्कीम कितना रिटर्न देगा. So if the person who is managing the fund is not knowing, how anybody can predict the return which your client can expect in the future. So you need to first graduate yourself from an agent to an advisor, not just discussing the returns of the scheme, but advising your client on a portfolio level. I am going to discuss on that in little detail. But first, what I would like you to understand here is we need to graduate ourselves from an agent to an advisor. It means instead of talking scheme, instead of talking about any transaction, we need to talk about the holistic picture which we are going to present to our client in terms of what kinds of goals he's looking at and how you can help him in planning those goals through an mutual fund route. So please understand this, that first your expectations should be in line. If you are expecting your client to give a 17%, 20%, 15% return, then you are building wrong expectation in your own head, and subsequently the same thing you are going to communicate to your client. So we need to be very sure that whenever we are talking to the client in terms of how we want to address their financial requirement, we need to first graduate ourselves. So if you agree that you need to transition yourself from an agent to an advisor, just type double in the comment box. I want to see how many of you would really love to project yourself as an advisor who is looking to advise your client on a holistic financial goal perspective and not on any scheme. Yes, thank you very much, guys. Now, other thing what you need to understand and change the mindset as an advisor is you need to consider your clients as an investor and not as a customer. Now, there is a huge difference between an agent and investor. Once you change the mindset that you are going to cater an investor, the kind of communication which you are going to do with your clients will be totally different. Remember, investors are for long term. So if you think that you are going to have a relation with your investor, it will be for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time horizon. More importantly, it will be goal based. Whereas customer, whenever we are talking about, we are only concerned regarding a transaction. So what we need to understand and do, we need to graduate ourselves in terms of whether we want to cater an investor or whether we want to cater a customer. Customers are short term, investors are long term. So once you understand that you are going to cater to an investor, then your approach will be totally different. I hope you are able to get, and if you are able to consume this simple concept, but very potent concept, you will be altogether a different kind of financial advisor in the market. So just build the communication and the relationship with the client, assuming that you are going to handhold him, you are going to guide him, you are going to motivate him for the long-term goals. And that is going to fructify for you also and for your client also. So this is all about how you should build your own expectation as a mutual fund distributor. Now let's talk about what the client expectation should be and how you should cater them. So first and most important thing is whenever you are talking to your client as an investor, you need to always keep in mind that you are always planning for an goal. Anything, everything, whatever we do in your life, if you don't have the end game or the goal or the peak where you want to reach, you will not be able to get the desired result. You will go for everything and then you are not going to achieve anything. My experience is most of the mutual fund distributors in the market, they meet their client to get the business. Let's do some SIPs, let's do some one-time investments. But what I would like you to do is I would like you to understand the concept that if you are able to project from the day one the purpose for which your client is going to do investments, he will always look at the end goal and not at the process. It means if you are planning for your client's kids higher education, if you're planning for his retirement, if you're planning for his buying a car or going for a vacation, anything or any purpose for which if you are defining the goal for which you are planning his investment journey, it is going to stick for a longer period of time. And the simplest example which I can give you is suppose you are an insurance agent. If you are an insurance agent or if you have seen any insurance agents dealing or if you are having an insurance policy on your own, just ask yourself, How many of you remember what is the premium you are paying for those insurance policies? The only thing which we remember is what is the target amount. What is the insurance cover? Yes or no? If you agree with me, just type yes in the comment box. So most of the time, whenever we are, or as an insurance advisor or agent, who whenever we are buying a policy as a customer, they are only going to tell you what is the insurance cover, and then they say that this is the premium which you need to pay. And most of the time, all of us who are only going to remember the premium or going to find out the premium amount when we need to pay that premium. But most of the mutual fund distributors, what they do, they say you start the SIP. Just let's start to do with 15,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 rupees SIP without finalizing the goal or the purpose for which he wants to invest. So if the customer don't know the end goal, he's only having a thought process or understanding that he's going or he's doing SIP of 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. But what if you have told him that you are going to be requiring 1 crore for your retirement, and for that you are going to do 5,000 rupees SIP? So he will not remember the 5,000 rupees monthly he's paying. He is only going to remember he is accumulating this money for the 1 crore of retirement corpus. So if you follow a structured path, if you follow a process through which you are going to tell him what is the amount he is going to be investing, then he will always remember the end goal, just like the insurance cover and not the premium. So if we can learn from the others modus operandi or others how they are approaching their business, आपको भी बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हो सकता है. तो आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि जब भी आप क्लाइंट का कोई भी इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान कर रहे हैं एज ए म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, आपको हमेशा उसको एंड गेम और द पर्पस और गोल दिखाना है जिसकी वजह से वो एक्यूमुलेट कर रहा है. So this is the first thing which you need to understand and do to manage your client expectation. तो वो आपको हमेशा ये नहीं पूछेगा कि आज मार्केट अप हो गया तो क्या करना है, डाउन हो गया तो क्या करना है, क्योंकि आपने उसको बताया कि अगर आप इतने साल तक करते रहेंगे तो आप अपने गोल्स को मीट कर पाएंगे. The other important thing which you need to remember and always talk to your client, that you are going to take a portfolio approach instead of taking a scheme approach. Instead of telling him to invest in multi cap or large cap or small cap or whatever you feel like, I want you to take a portfolio approach where you are going to do a proper asset allocation for him. Now, what I mean by that? I mean by that is you are going to tell him, sir, we are not going to plan to invest your money in only one asset class. Instead, we are going to diversify your investment into multi-asset class. I am not going to give you only equity because I know that we are investing for a purpose, and that purpose can only be fulfilled if you are having a lesser volatility in your portfolio, and that can only happen if you are diversifying his investment into multi-asset class. So you should give him an equity scheme also, you should give him a debt scheme also, you should give him a gold scheme also, or the multi-asset portfolio you should need to make. And to make your client understand that if he is following a multi-asset portfolio approach, then the risk in his portfolio, the downside in his portfolio would be lot lesser. So अगर आप क्लाइंट को एक पोर्टफोलियो अप्रोच के लिए समझाते हैं तो उसका अटेंशन किसी एक पर्टिकुलर स्कीम या एसेट क्लास पे जाएगा नहीं. आप उसको बता रहे हैं कि आप उसका पैसा एक हर एसेट क्लास में, इक्विटी में भी, डेट में भी, गोल्ड में भी लगा रहे हैं, ताकि उसका पैसे का जो रिस्क है वो बहुत लार्ज एक्सटेंट तक कम हो जाए. And in this way you are safeguarding yourself also. Why? Because now your client will not ask if that whether if the equity market has been all-time high, whether and he will be having too much risk or not. And we talk, whenever we are talking about asset allocation, we should also keep in mind that asset allocation by itself is going to reduce the risk in the portfolio. क्योंकि अगर आपने प्रॉपर एसेट एलोकेशन किया है तो आप टाइम टू टाइम उसके एसेट को रीएलोकेट भी करेंगे. In these times when market has reached all-time high, I am sure that if you have done a proper asset allocation, your equity weightage would have gone up. तो आप क्या करेंगे, आप इक्विटी के पोर्टफोलियो में प्रॉफिट बुक करेंगे और वो पैसा दूसरे स्कीम्स में और दूसरे एसेट क्लास में डाइवर्सिफाई करेंगे, इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. अगर आप ऐसा करते हैं तो आपका क्लाइंट भी सेफ है और आप एज ए म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर भी सेफ हैं, क्योंकि आपने टाइम टू टाइम क्लाइंट के रिस्क को कम किया है बाय बुकिंग प्रॉफिट एंड इन्वेस्टिंग इन अंडर परफॉर्मिंग एसेट क्लास. If it doesn't make sense to you, if you think that you are not able to get this concept right, this all concept we are going to teach you, we are going to make you understand, we are going to make you implement in our community. So if you want to learn more about how we are going to help you in starting your mutual fund distribution business in 21 days or less, and how we can make you a very different mutual fund distributor than those who are in the market, then I would love you to join our master class. In our master class 90 minutes का free master class है, जहां पे हम आपको बताएंगे कि आप कैसे म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बन सकते हैं. लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है. Please join and register for the master class where I am going to show you how you can become a mutual fund distributor in 21 days, but a successful mutual fund distributor. So आपको asset allocation करना बहुत जरूरी है और आपको क्लाइंट को बताना भी पड़ेगा. इससे क्या होगा कि आपका क्लाइंट बार बार आपसे ये नहीं पूछेगा कि अरे आज इक्विटी मार्केट इतना बढ़ गया है, अब क्या करना है. Because you have created an infrastructure, you have created a mechanism where you have communicated to your client that whenever one asset class is not doing well or other asset classes are doing very well, what your approach should be. You are also minimizing the expectation of the client. If you have not diversified his portfolio और आपने सिर्फ उसको एक इक्विटी स्कीम दिया है जहां पे बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न आया, कुछ टाइम के बाद अगर वो अच्छा रिटर्न नहीं आएगा तो वो हमेशा उसी बेंचमार्क को लेके चलेगा जो आपने उसको बताया है. आपने उसको बताया स्कीम ने 15% का रिटर्न दिया है, he will always have that 15% in his mind whenever he is talking to you regarding his investment return, because you have shown him that this scheme has given 15% return. In our community, we advise highly that whenever you are talking to your client, don't talk about a particular scheme. If you do that, you are digging grave for yourself only. आप अपने लिए गड्ढा खोद रहे हो, क्योंकि आपको भी पता है और जो फंड मैनेज कर रहा है उसको भी पता है जो पास्ट में रिटर्न आया है वो फ्यूचर में आएगा या नहीं आएगा उसको भी नहीं पता है. सो आपको ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि जब भी आप क्लाइंट से बात कर रहे हैं, आप एक पोर्टफोलियो लेवल पे बात करें, न कि स्कीम लेवल पे. And last and most important thing which I want you to understand, that whenever you are talking to your client, don't project yourself that you are going to give him the best return or you are going to give him a best advice on the scheme. You need to project yourself as and you are going to give him the best risk adjusted return. मैं स्मॉल कैप का पेनी स्टॉक ले लूं तो वहां भी मैं 100% रिटर्न जनरेट कर सकता हूं, लेकिन वो रिटर्न जनरेट करने में मैंने कितना बड़ा रिस्क लिया है ये आपके क्लाइंट को और आपको एज ए म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर समझना जरूरी है. So whenever you are talking to your client as a mutual fund distributor, you need to always project that you are going to take care of not his only return but also the risk part of it when he is investing through you, because risk management is very important part. So if you are able to communicate this, he will be able to resonate with the idea that he is not only chasing the return, but he is chasing a good risk adjusted return, which you as a mutual fund distributor is going to give him. So if you are able to communicate these things, then whatever may be the market condition, It may be 30% down or it may be 100% up. You will be always be in control of your client. Your client will always be aligning with your thought process, because you have communicated to him that you are going to give him and deliver him a better risk adjusted return. So in case you agree with me, just type agree in the comment box. I would love to see how many of you are going to implement these ideas to manage your client expectation. Just understand that expectation of management of the client is the most important thing in advisory. If you are not able to manage the expectation of the client, then it will be very difficult for your client to be with you for a longer period of time. So I hope you got some value in today's session. In case you like the content, I would love you to share your understanding, what you learned in the comment section. I would love that if you are able to share this video with your known ones who can get some insights regarding investments and mutual fund business. Do subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and I'm going to see you next time. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining in, and I'm going to see you next Thursday on the last session. Thank you very much, guys.